Yep, I'm Kody McCoy. I'm the project manager of our academic engagement and support team.
Amazing. And then can you tell me, from my own knowledge, what that kind of looks like?
Yeah, so my main focus is to centralize all of our projects. We have multiple teams in the academic support and engagement unit. And so we just kind of take a centralized approach to all of our efforts and coordinating and make sure that we're aligning to our division strategic priorities, but also for the institution.
Okay, perfect. And then Phil told me you're part of Strong Start.
Yeah.
Can you tell me what that is, or
Yeah.
explain it to the students who
Yep.
really don't know what that
Yep,
is?
so Strong Start should be no shocker. It's so students start strong at National University. It's just kind of our way of onboarding students successfully through live workshops and digital media resources. Really put an emphasis on helping them learn the different platforms and different systems that they're going to be using while they're students at NU. But also, we're from the academic engagement and support team, so our number one goal is to make sure that students actually use our resources. And so we want to really drive academic engagement, and that starts by educating them about all the different free resources that are available to our students and also encouraging usage.
Perfect. And then can you, because our students come from such a diverse background, some of them are parents, some of them are first gen, some of them have the degree already, but can you tell them like having that, completing the Strong Start program is important and like it helps aid their academic journey here at
Sure.
NU?
Yeah, as you know, a lot of our students are non-traditional, and so technology is changing by the minute. And so some of our students have been out for 10, 20 years, and so it's just our way of helping them ease into the different systems that they're going to be using, the different technology that they're going to be using. Also, just kind of helping them know how to log into their account and find their online classroom and get used to navigating it comfortably. And so they can learn all the things that they need to know in order to focus on the courses and the content.
And how can students find the Strong Start program?
And so students are introduced to Strong Start initially through their enrollment advisors. Our enrollment team actually helps us out with the presentations and some of the messaging through our campaigns. And so they initially hear about that, and then we host a live workshop on the first day of class. As we know, many of our ANDers have busy schedules, so if they can't attend the live workshop, then they are able to just watch recordings at their own, leisure whenever they can fit it in. And then we also try to promote usage of services throughout their first couple courses, so they may see a message from us from time to time, but also just through word of mouth through other students and our faculty partners that promote the program for us.
I love that it's a community, everyone's supporting one another.
Yep.
We'll also have social media soon too to promote Strong Start.
Mhm.
I know that you guys also do a bunch of webinars and guides to help students figure out how to navigate a certain academic milestone, be it their dissertation, research, or just a simple project. What can you say about the webinars and the support that they bring to students?
The webinars are great because not only are they, we have scheduled webinars where we're presenting topics. We have just open drop-in sessions for students to join, which are more of community building. So as you know, in the online, predominantly online education world, you don't get to sit next to your classmates in your classroom. So these are just drop-in hours where consistently, for say in the Academic Success Center, we have on a day and time, students know that we're going to be consistently offering drop-in sessions so they can come meet with our team, they can come meet with other students, bounce ideas off of each other, really kind of build those accountability partners so they can push each other across the finish line and share resources, make friends, create community, which is really what we're all about.
That's amazing. I love it. Besides the webinars, what kind of resources do you guys offer to students to help build that community? Because it is an online environment.
Yeah.
So that's hard to find.
Yeah, I think, and I can speak to the Academic Success Center and the library resources. We take pride in offering most of our resources asynchronously, so we can meet both the students that want to come and connect at a certain time, but also we have hundreds of resources that students can peruse. Sometimes they're curated specifically for classes or programs or different research that they're going to be doing, but it's all self-paced. So if you want help from us, you can get it, but if you'd rather just browse things on your own and click around, chances are you're going to be able to find something that's going to help you along your journey.
And then can you talk about like
Yeah, so the Academic Success Center offers one-to-one coaching. They also offer one-to-one appointments with alumni navigators, and that's a really unique team because they are all graduates of National University that came back to work for us. And their job is, think kind of outside of your traditional math or writing coaching. They help you really work on your time management, so you can set firm plans, set goals, access resources, navigate to the different platforms and systems that they're going to be using. But also, the Academic Success Center offers, webinars. They offer self-paced tutorials. They also offer some resources that they take to the classroom. So they may partner with faculty of a particular course that they're teaching, and the faculty may say, hey, students are really interested in learning more about this topic, and then the Academic Success Center can actually build in resources within the class, which is a really cool way to get to students as well.
And then every student I speak to, they always speak really highly of the Writing Center.
Yep.
And I know that's a part of the Academic Success Center.
Yep.
What would you what advice would you give to a student who's doesn't necessarily know where to start with their dissertation process? What resource would you point them to? Would it be the Writing Center or a different resource at the Academic Success Center?
Yeah. So the writing coaches in the Academic Success Center are great. I'm not one of them, but when I was a student, they knew me on a first name basis because I was in there multiple times a week. But really, a lot of students think of a writing coach maybe helping you with writing that you've already done. My favorite thing about that team is that they'll actually work with you before you've started writing anything. And so if you need help kind of formulating your thoughts and creating an outline and really serving as a thought partner with you on a specific project or a paper, they can help you get that jump start. And then ultimately, you can check in as you get draft 1, draft 2, final paper submitted. And so they'll really help you not only strengthen your writing, but they serve as kind of an extension of a writing teacher that you're going to meet with outside of your traditional class format.
I know I didn't utilize my Writing Center enough, but
Yep.
so I didn't have time for an appointment.
Yep.
What would you give to students? How would you encourage a student to actually take that first step? Not to get stuck in their own maybe intimidation or fear of the project itself, but to actually just reach out to help.
First of all, I know this is kind of a funny way to put it, but they're paying customers, right? You're paying tuition at a university that cares a lot about your success. We're invested in your success. I know, the students are invested in their own success. And so utilizing those resources, it just only makes sense. It's provided to you. We had our internal data team do a study that students that use academic resources are up to 2.3 more times likely to be successful. And so we're kind of trying to shift the narrative of only reaching out to a writing coach or a math coach if you're struggling in a class. So not only can we help you improve on areas that you want to improve on, we can turn your good into great. And so the analogy that we use, my colleague Dr. Nicholson, who's one of the directors in the Academic Success Center, she always says Olympians or a famous athlete that people are familiar with, like Michael Jordan, even in the last year of his career, he's still working with a coach and he's trying to find an aspect of his game to get better. Not because he wasn't good at basketball, but because he sees that there's always somewhere to improve. So we're trying to shift that mindset of not coming in when you need help, but really getting early and often, and not only setting the bar high, but keeping it set at a very high level.
Wow, that's a really great analogy, and I think that's a good practice for students.
Yeah.
Beside the Writing Center, is there a resource that you think is maybe not highlighted enough or underutilized by our students that you think they would really benefit from? Either be it from the library or the Academic Success Center.
Yeah. I don't have an answer for that. I guess I could say outside of our team, if it's all right to highlight something else.
No, absolutely.
I just think of our Center for Student Engagement and Activities. So even if you're not looking to connect with staff on an academic level, our student engagement coordinator does a great job of creating that community in a digital space. And so I would encourage students that don't know what they want to really show up and maybe join a club or just attend a meeting and hear from a speaker, because that might not only connect you to the rest of the NU community, but it can actually help spark some ideas or interest about resources that you didn't even know existed.
That's really cool. But who's the student engagement coordinator?
Jasmine Banks.
Oh, I guess I assumed so. I was I've met Jasmine.
She's the greatest.
She's amazing.
She helps us with Strong Start too, so I'm always trying to plug our partners,
Yeah,
cool.
Month event.
Yeah.
So helping on the social side.
Yeah. No,
So
she's great.
She's amazing.
Definitely.
What do you call it? I lost my train of thought.
It's
But
okay.
Let me look at my source sheet. You were speaking about her, and I was like, I'm pretty sure I know who you're speaking about. So I know that you have more insight on the Academic Success Center. Most of our coaching is via online. Can you talk about like the value of that online coaching versus like traditional coaching, or maybe what we bring that makes our coaching more valuable?
Yeah, no, I think the unique thing in the digital education landscape is that traditionally we think of like a tutoring center where you'd go in and you'd have a piece of paper and you'd work on math problems with your tutor. But nowadays we can kind of emulate those same strategies where you're on Zoom and you're able to connect live with the coach. And so yeah, it's through a digital screen, but you're still having that same connection, that real-time back and forth where you're able to ask questions. And as I mentioned, they're serving as an extension of a teacher. So they're not going to grade your paper, they're not going to edit your paper, but they're going to teach you the right way to do it. And so we really take that, teaching them to fish approach, where once you learn these strategies, you're going to be able to use them for the rest of your career at National. So.
Can you speak a little bit more about that? How like the resources here at National, the Library Academic Center, really prepares them for post-graduation?
Yeah, let me think of how to do that. Oh.
If you want to take a minute, there's a plane coming by.
Always.
They've been coming by all day, and I'm just like, it's not the day.
Always. Let me think of how to really answer that. That's a good question. Okay. So really, you're teaching students strategies that they're going to not only carry throughout their program if they go to additional levels of education, but carrying on into the real world, into the workforce, just that organization, starting a fresh project, that grit, that growth mindset, and really just understanding that, putting the actually, I don't know where I'm going with that. That was a bad answer. Sorry, we'll scrap that one.
It's okay.
That was a tough question.
It's tricky.
I was figuring out how to try to put a cherry on top there, but I don't know if I know.
It's tricky.
Yeah, we'll skip that one.
Okay, no worries. I'm getting tired.
I bet. Oops.
What's one piece of advice you would give to students who maybe are struggling with motivation? Because it is difficult to earn a degree, like especially with lives that are spaced out. Like they're not just focused on education; they're tackling a lot of different sectors of their life.
Yeah. Just tapping into their why. We all sign up for school in the beginning for some reason. Some might be financially motivated. It might be to set up an example for your family, make a difference in the community, or you may not know that, but you may want to just better your life. So we do have different resources at the university, not only getting involved with clubs, but say like career services, where if you need to do career exploration and really find your why and find the reason why you're going to go to school, just tap into that motivation. So when you're going through a tough course month, you know that you can keep your eye on the prize and use that as a constant source of motivation to be successful.
Good thing.
Another plane.
Another plane.
Jeez. That's funny.
So you're talking about like different people you've been able to collaborate with, student engagement, library. What point do you kind of know? Do you have that moment where you're like, oh, I need to connect with the library team to really support this student?
Could you ask that?
Like,
yeah.
If you don't want to answer that question, that's
No, I was going to say maybe ask that differently. So.
How does collaboration with the other teams really aid the work that you're doing here in serving students?
Oh yeah. It takes a village approach, and I think the unique thing about having so many different student services departments is that we all have our little niche or our specialty. And nobody got in this business to get rich, which is what I love, because we really are passionate about helping students and changing lives at the end of the day. So it's a shared approach. And we actually encourage, students not only to seek our services, but to tap into as many of these free resources as possible while they're here. So.
It seems like you guys have an incredible team going on here, and everyone's very driven.
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
Yeah. Everybody's super nice too.
Yeah.
And then, how has your perspective of success changed? Serving national as an institution.
Wow, that is a great question. Success looks a little bit differently, I think, for everybody, but ultimately kind of finding what your end goal is and working backwards from that. My favorite thing with Strong Start is I like to tell students that the first success is actually just doing it. And so we think of making the dean's list or passing a class with an A or graduation as success, but really it's turning in your first assignment. It's signing up for college. It's betting on yourself. It's taking that first footstep of a 1,000-mile journey, which is really the most important one. And then success is whatever you gauge it to be, whatever you want it to be, and wherever you want to take it.
I love that. I think that's really great, especially since students here, they're coming from all different backgrounds, and just like the education is not their only achievement that is valuable.
Sure.
And just them making that first initial step to the education, like that self is like the biggest struggle from what I've seen.
100%.
From all the conversations, and just seeing students be able to do that and get to the point where they feel comfortable and like they're capable enough to do that.
Yep.
I think that's all. Do
Okay.
you have any other questions?
No, I don't.